Welcome back to the Past My Prime YouTube channel. Dustin Prime here, and oh, sorry, 1 second. Oh, sorry about that. I thought I was still watching CleanTok videos on TikTok. CleanTok? Huh? What's that all about? Well, in the last video that I posted about the Easter slop content, someone left a comment on one of the videos that we covered saying that there was different sorts of moms or parents out there who left their houses in states of disarray to turn it into content. And I think I found this under CleanTok and like disgusting house cleanup and all things like that. And needless to say, it was disgusting. Disturbing too. And I'm not sure exactly when this trend started to catch on, but this was the first time I was seeing it. And I was honestly shocked about the levels of depravity that some of these households were in. And remember, this is for content. So like many things on TikTok, it's a deep rabbit hole and you can get sucked in quick. Let's see how absolutely foul some of this is. All that camera equipment sitting on the counter. And this is a lot of dishes. Yeah, multiple rooms of mess. And she was using that broom like a rake. Just pile everything up and go through it. Right off the bat there, as soon as it starts, and it's kind of doing like a pan around the kitchen, as dirty as it is, sitting on that center island, there's like one of those TikTok content lights and like recording stuff, a laptop sitting there. So you know it's like, oh, you got to get all set up for this kitchen cleanup content. And you know, it even like continues here. Tons of videos of just this messy kitchen, food's everywhere. I mean, pans of food just kind of laying out all across the kitchen, and cleaning up like the living room and things like that, just using that broom almost like a rake, just sweep everything into one big ass pile and then just pick it up from there. And it's just like trash and just stuff strewn all over the place. And I like when the toys get kind of cleaned up, piles of crumbs and food just kind of like festering there on the floor. And I think that's what kind of makes this maybe worse, is because it's like, is this true, or is some of this dramatized and made to be messier on purpose for this so-called content? And you know, just like plates just filled with food kind of sitting all over the place. Like this island just seems to be a magnet for just piling a bunch of shit up so then it can get cleaned up. And so while that one wasn't that bad, it seems like maybe some of that was done on purpose. But then again, it seems like a lot of these could be done on purpose, because I don't see who could live like this. And then the question you start to ask yourself is this just laziness, or is this also possibly some sort of problem like you would see on like a show like Hoarders, like a severe disorder? I, for the most part, would have to just say the first option, because many of these CleanTok creators get tons and tons of views, tons of engagement. And it did seem like that creator had like a toddler, or maybe like 2 toddlers. And so, you know, it's like, oh, she has a messy house because she's got kids. But some of these other content creators just straight out blame their kids for it.
There's 3 things in life that are for sure. 1, taxes. 2, death. And 3, that my house is gonna be a mess. 'Cause I don't know about y'all, but I have 11 kids, and they love to throw stuff everywhere. Could I have asked for their help to pick up? Probably. But my kids are 8, 5, and 3, respectively, and they're not gonna help me the way I need to be helped. I'd rather just do it by myself. I mean, it's not like I haven't tried, but I can't even get them to pick up their own room, let alone help me with the living room. In their eyes, the living room, the kitchen, the rest of the house besides their bedroom is my job. And their bedrooms are also my job. Except I don't do that job, because that's not my job. Their bedrooms are their responsibility, except for the 3-year-old. And I know part of the reason they don't like cleaning is because I hardly ever taught them, and that's my fault. But truth be told, I struggle with mental health severely, and cleaning is one of my least favorite things to do. I would rather paint my living room with a Q-tip than clean it. And that's a me problem, and I'm getting help. But at the same time, mental health is an actual struggle that people really don't understand unless they go through it. But anyways, I got half the living room clean, kind of. Let me know if you want to see the rest. There's always going to be a mess to clean in this house. I'll never pretend I'm perfect for the camera.
So there, she kind of right off the bat admits that she does have a problem, which is I guess a good step to start making. And she said she had 3 kids, 8, 5, and 3, but she said she's not even seeking their help, she's just gonna do it herself. But then you wonder, well, how did it even get this bad? And she said she didn't teach the kids to clean, so that's her fault. But just the amount of like trash all over the floor, food all over the floor, it's like, at what point does that become a problem for the kids? You know, you can say you have mental health issues and things like that, but eventually it's like the kids are living in squalor. And yeah, maybe she's embarrassed about it, but not embarrassed enough to just be showing it off on TikTok. Like she even says there, oh, let me know if you want to see more. There's definitely going to be more to clean up in this house. And it didn't really seem like she made that much of a difference just in that one little small area, like leading up to the door. Like she just picked everything up and then just kind of swept it into a little pile. And I mean, hey, I guess that's a start, but it still looked pretty terrible in there. So then you quickly wonder, well, do people just get their houses as dirty as possible and leave it like this just for some sort of, sympathy content? Are they trying to get extra views, get this stuff like boosted so that then they can get some sort of money out of it? Because a lot of these clips have like a sad story associated with it. Like this next one, it always seems like there's some sort of, emotional build up here to like this cleaning video. And this creator has a ton.
Happy Sunday, you guys. I hope you're having a better day than me and my husband are. My husband was on his way uptown to pick up my daughter's insulin from the pharmacy when the wheel bearing on our truck blew. Now, he is perfectly safe. The wheel did not come off. The wheel's just locked up. So he's fine, but now we have to find money for this repair, and that's our only vehicle, so we're out of vehicle, so I don't know what to do. All I can ask is that you guys stay for this video, like it, comment, share it, whatever. I would truly appreciate it. It will help me relieve some of the burden from him because we also have to pay our bills and all of that on top of paying to have our truck repaired, which wheel bearings for a big truck like we have are really expensive. So I'll be posting extra content this week, so yay for you guys. You guys will get to see lots of cleaning content. I'm gonna have to get busy working, but today we just did some tidying. The bathroom was absolutely trashed. My baby likes to go in there and unroll all of the toilet paper, and the kids like to go in there in the morning, take off their pajamas, and just leave them on the floor, leave their towels after showers and stuff. Things gotta change at my house. But anyway, I did a bunch of laundry. Again, we're gonna get back to getting rid of laundry, but I had sick kids this weekend, so I didn't do much of that, but I will get back to it tomorrow. And then we did some dishes, and that's it. I hope you guys are having a better Sunday than me.
Yeah, so right off the bat, like the bathroom is just covered in like used toilet paper and like used diapers. Looked like stuff was pulled out of the trash too. And she mentions the toddler likes to go in there and do that. And seriously, so if the bathroom's that dirty, just keep the door closed so the toddler's not going in there and getting into it. Or is it that idea that just, hey, this makes great content, and I'm gonna keep having that cleaning content for you guys because the husband's truck broke down and we really need some help. And I mean, I don't want to say that I was a helicopter parent, but when my daughter was that age, yeah, that was like, no, I was always making sure like she's not getting into that type of, mess, and especially stuff that wasn't like sanitary or safe. And so I guess that content creator has a lot to do with like laundry, where she's just like doing laundry, just like heaps and heaps of laundry. And she said it was her husband, and like, at least 2 kids that she mentioned. And I mean, this just looks like a lot. It's like you can't even sit on that couch. There's stuff piled up on like the banister back there. Looks like there's multiple like kind of those tubs of laundry. And so it's just one of those things where, yeah, just save as much dirty laundry as you can to just pile it all up and then do it at once, but be sure to film it. And here it is again, where it's just like all over the place. Boxes, there's like trash on the ground. There's like 4, 5 hampers. It's just like, how much laundry are you like backing up here? Unless it's just that it's being saved up so it can all be dumped and have this dramatic look to it for content. Because she did mention, oh, we were gonna have much more laundry days. And there's stuff just like piled up there, like leaning over. There's stuff all over the ground. Looks like there's tons of stuff that could just like fall over. It's like, what sort of environment is that for like a toddler? That is not a good one. This next one though, I don't even know if you could fake this. This is just too foul, too disgusting. Oh, there's like chicken bones on the ground. What the hell? Like metal can lids? Some questionable objects and stains on the floor. Like chemicals in arm's reach for little ones. Oh my god. Yep, and there's little kids in there. Ooh, I really love that part at the end. All done for the day, and it looks like almost nothing was done. There's still like all over the floor, stains everywhere. You know, when she was sweeping up underneath that little cart, there was like a rotten vegetable and like cat food container cans, chicken bones, aluminum tops, and those things are sharp as hell. Just like the amount of like food squalor was just, oh man. And then the stove too, you know, that was one of those like open gas ranges, and there's just like trash and pizza boxes just like piled up. Totally not safe, especially if like a toddler was to reach up and like turn the oven on, click one of those burners on, and you know, you gotta make it cute. You gotta throw in like the kids coming in while mommy's cleaning up. Oh no, no, no. It's like, this is just degenerate. And like the little ramen plastics and ramen wrappers, it's like, how hard is it to just throw that stuff away? Like, I mean, maybe you could defend having the pizza box up there because it's a little bit bigger, but just like all the small trash, it's just all over the floor. And like, how do you walk around? Are like the kids walking around in shoes? Is the baby crawling around in there? I mean, some of these just make me sick. And I mean, I remember when I was younger, I think most of the houses I went over to, like my friends or, you know, kids I knew in the neighborhood, for the most part, most of them were pretty well kept. But there were a few kids I remember where their houses were like really dirty. And one of them was even worse than what we've seen here. And needless to say, I only went over to that house once and then never went back. Oddly enough, I told the kid's dad that he needed to call my dad because I wasn't feeling well. I told him I felt sick, like I was gonna throw up, and I thought maybe my lunch would upset me. But I totally just made that shit up because I wanted my dad to come pick me up right away so I could escape from there. And then like as soon as I got out, just knowing that my friend who I knew from school, like him and his little brother had to live there like permanently, like that was their home. And I'm comparing it back to my home that I'm getting ready to go back to. So I just remember driving back with my dad just thinking like, how do you live like that? And it was awful. And so the content continues, and it seems like sometimes people always have the excuses. And this lady straight up tells you, don't you judge her. That's like, sorry lady, you put this on the internet.
Let me start this by saying, please do not judge my house. We have 3 businesses, 3 kids, 4 dogs, 5 dogs because we got a new puppy. And my house is wreck. So come with me to clean it.
Stop getting dogs.
First, we're gonna get coffee. It's summer and my kids are sleeping in the living room, so don't mind all the stuff on the couches. That's just kids. And please do not judge my Easter decorations now that it's June. If you would have seen it before Easter, I still had my Christmas tree up, Thanksgiving and Halloween decorations up. So leave the judging to a minimum. And look at this dog hair. So much dog hair. Yeah, that's what happens when you have 4 dogs. Now 5 with our new puppy. Yay! Let's clean this couch off. All of the dog hair. Dog hair, dog hair. That's my life. Dog hair. Even got to vacuum the dog. If you've seen my previous video, this is my little snippet I was trying to record yesterday with the kids running in and out and her having an attitude and all the things. So don't mind her. She's just really coming back and forth. You might even see my other kids in some of the other videos because it is so hard to be stay-at-home mom, do content and all the things, especially during the summer when the kids are out of school and not have them interrupt being there, do whatever. Anyone else with a Great Dane have such a slobbery dog? This dog just has slobber everywhere. He even has his own water bowl because he just gets so much slobber in there the other dogs don't even want to even drink out the other water bowl. But anyways, here we are, more dog hair, soaping up the dog hair. And here is the living room and the front area all clean. Did you see my Bubba there? Now,
yeah, so you heard her. Don't you judge her. It's not her family's fault that she has 3 businesses, the kids, all those dogs, and a new dog that they just got. And she says, yeah, if you have Great Danes, you know they're the slobberiest dogs. And the part where she's just sweeping up like massive clumps of fur from like all over. She's de-furring that couch. She says just covered in fur. And then there's like dog food like all over up to the door. Like I can't wrap my head around how people even walk around the floors of these types of houses when there's just so much crap all over the floor. And she's just walking around barefoot like, nah, not a big deal. And the kid had an attitude, so you know that's just making things worse. I feel like this one might have been on the bait level. Like it's just really trying to bait you in to leave a comment or to fight with someone else in the comments. Yeah, and one of the comments did just say that. The only thing I have to say is, how do y'all walk around the house barefoot? Even after I sweep and mop, I can't walk around barefoot. And you know, that's one of those things a lot of people do, like to wear like house shoes or house slippers. And I totally agree with her, especially in that condition. Like, how are you even living barefoot there? And yeah, someone says invest in Aruba, but she said she tried and it quit on her with a week because it was getting clogged up with hair. It's like, maybe stop getting dogs in that house. And so the house I'm in, it's not overly large. You know, it's 4 bedrooms, you know, the master and 3 small bedrooms. It's like right at like 2,000 square feet. And we have 3 cats, and they're little cats, and they don't shed too much. And there's still a lot of work, there's daily sweeping, daily cleaning up you gotta do. I can't imagine 5 dogs. That just seems like your whole life, your day-to-day would just be nothing but cleaning up and taking care of those dogs. And a lot of those other comments in there are just like, oh, I'm in the same boat, or I should start cleaning up my mess. And so you just wonder, like, how many people are kind of stuck in this situation. And I think that gets back to, there are some people who maybe have a real, disorder that's keeping them trapped like this. And so, I don't necessarily see them on here putting out that much content, because you can think that some people are probably really, really ashamed of the fact that their house is in a state like this. So on the other side of this whole CleanTok phenomenon, not the ones flaunting their mess and showing it off, are these professional deep cleaners who do this as their career, as their profession. And I can't even imagine the horrors they've seen. So we got creators that are going in, showing you just the absolute mess that they have to clean up on a daily basis. And this next one's interesting because she kind of has the testimonial from the homeowner, how did it get this bad?
The hair in the shower started from day one. It started me just not having the emotional or physical energy to start cleaning things. My home was reflective of this very depressed person who can't do much, but in reality, I've been doing better in so many other ways. It's terrible when mental health prevents people from living up to their potential. You are more than your messy apartment. Some of your followers think that it'll just go back to how it was. There is 0% chance it's going to go back to how it was. I will not let that happen. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was insane. The amount of hair kind of in that corner of the shower, and those just mountains of empty Drano bottles all around the toilet. That's one of those things why are they having this many empty bottles? That's kind of getting on that hoarder level. And in that testimonial, she straight up says that, there's mental health issues. A lot of trash, a lot of the exact same bottles just piled up in spaces. There were soaps and things like that around, the dirty sinks. All those toilet paper rolls, things aren't getting thrown away. They're just kind of getting hoarded. I really wonder for this, professional cleaner, if she sees more of just really, really messy houses, or she sees more houses that are kind of on this hoarder level. Because you got to think too, there's probably a lot of cleaners that don't even get into the hoarder territory. They just want to clean a normal messy house and not have to deal with the levels of decay and just depravity that some of these hoarding houses are in. And she says, people in the comments are always saying, oh, what are the chances that you go back to how it was? Oh, it's going to be 0% chance that it happens. And I really hope that she's maybe getting some help, mental health help, so she can try and avoid, going back to how things got, because that was insane. But wait, hit that free like button down below, subscribe so you can stay informed, and then drop me a comment. Have you seen anyone's house that got in this level of disorder? Did it get to the hoarding level? Or by chance have you found yourself stuck in that CleanTok rabbit hole? Let me know. Now, back to the video. Alright, big warning on this next one. This is really, really bad. I might blur some of this out. But just imagine, what a pet does if you lock it in a room all day, maybe all week. This is just absolutely putrid.
Come get this laundry room together with me.
Oh my God.
I was not prepared for this laundry room when I showed up today, but it was by far the most satisfying room of the house. The client was okay with tossing this sheet, so I kind of used it to collect everything up. And then I didn't want to use a broom or dustpan, so I had to be really careful collecting all this stuff into the trash. Went through with my scraper, scraped up all those big parts. Then I went through on just this area with the Scrub Mommy and some Mr. Clean, and going over it with a paper towel just to get up that excess water. Then I sweep the rest of the laundry room, making sure to get behind the washer and dryer. And don't worry, I mopped that part. I wiped down every single baseboard and any scuffs or marks that might have been on the wall.
Oof.
After this, I did just a light mop to get a nice clean base, making sure to get behind the washer, of course. Then I changed the water and I went through and I did a nice sudsy wet mop. Wiped down the appliances and it was looking beautiful.
But she had to pull the appliances out, and just that excrement was everywhere. And it was in the water bowls and things like that too. These pro cleaners are saviors to these people, because I don't know how you could stomach doing this all day. And the top comment right there, I'm worried about the dog in there, sad face. Seriously, you're subjecting your pet to live in that mess. you know, they have no choice. So that starts to walk that line. Like, is that animal abuse? I think this varies from like state to state, place to place, but that's just freaking foul. And yeah, one of the other comments, the smell, I cannot imagine. And yeah, that's totally true. Even if you were to close that door, you definitely would be able to smell the stench coming out of there. But I'll say it again, yeah, these professional cleaners, they are like angels to some of these folks. And I really hope they're getting paid really good. And so then on the flip side of this, besides like the professional cleaners or then the ones who are like cleaning for content, there's a lot of these like ASMR level like cleaning videos where they pile in as much like stuff into the product as they can. You know, all these different colors and stuff. I'll show you. In case mom didn't teach you. Dump in the ice, dump in all the colors, waste like half that can, multiple cans of Fabuloso. Just as many different products as you can fit in there. Yeah, so there's a ton of those videos. You know, dumped like half a bottle of one Fabuloso in and then like another half of a different color Fabuloso bottle in. You know, piling in the ice and then covering it up with foam. Putting in all those different bowl cleaners. Dumping like the Ajax comment on top of it. And then what was the deal with like spraying the like Sud soap on the brush before you're gonna just shove it into that like pile of chemicals and stuff? Yeah, like totally video. But people just get fascinated with that and it gets tons and tons of clicks, tons of engagement. However, I think there's another issue with these because if you start mixing cleaning chemicals like this, you can have like reactions that are serious. You know, you can't just go mixing different sorts of bleaches and things like that together. Some of those can have like a chemical reaction and cause a gas to erupt. You could literally be like breathing in that compound and they can be seriously terrible for you. So yeah, really stupid, don't do that. That was just a massive waste of product and money. And this last one right here, it kind of struck me because she had, you know, all the elements of like the storytelling in it, the different reasons why she's in this state, but then also something else that caught my eye that I was like, okay, come on now. Yeah, looks like two able-bodied boys there. But it looks like she's the only one doing this. Yeah, there's just stuff everywhere. Yeah, plates and food and just stuff all over the couch, all over the floor. Oddly enough, now the boys are gone. Yeah, so she's saying all that build up, you know, she's working extended shifts, you know, multiple jobs, all this to try to make ends meet, coming back and the home is just trashed like this. So she's just trying to do what she can. But it's like those boys looked like they were like teenagers and they were just kind of sitting there playing, you know, sitting in front of the TV. In that last little bit there, she said, oh, I rallied the kids to go clean their own room. And I think this is back to kind of what one of the earlier videos said. Well, I didn't teach my kids to clean, so that's on me. And it's like, maybe that's true. Did you really just let it get this bad? And you didn't have any help from the kids? Like you were just letting them do whatever they want? It's like, at what point does your maybe like 12, 13-year-old son just eat some food and then just throw the trash on the couch? Do you not say something? Like, oh no, I'm just gonna let it go. I don't have the energy. And just the absolute state of that kitchen just, you know, totally trashed. Not a single place to put like anything. So towards the end there, it was getting cleaned up. I mean, hopefully it stays that way. But who knows? Because if this creator posts this, it gets tons of likes, it possibly even gets some monetization out of it. Or if they have a TikTok shop set up for it, and if it goes viral, then hey, might as well make another cleanup video. So just let the house get absolutely trashed again, and then let's record it. So I don't know where I'm at with this. I just can't believe that some people live like this, whether because they want to, maybe they have a mental health issue, but as we saw, it's not just the content creators who are dealing with this, because there's kids involved, there's pets involved. It's like, at what point does this become a serious issue? You know, some people get a lot of flack because they get their kids involved in content and things like that they love to post on the internet, and you know, that can have negative effects on kids. But so does living in absolute squalor, just so your mom can record it and post it on her TikTok channel. So, in my opinion, absolutely degenerate. But thanks for the comment and get me down this rabbit hole. But that does it for this one. If you enjoyed the content we covered today, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so we can hang out again. And if you leave a comment below, I might feature it in one of my next videos. And it really helps new channels, so I totally appreciate it. Plus, YouTube thinks you'll like this video right here, so give it a watch if you have a second. Until then, I've been Dustin Prime, you've been you, and people, remember, is this the content that you really want to show off? Like, would you really be okay posting this? And what about the other people that are affected? If you know someone who's dealing with this, maybe it's time to get them some help. But that's it for this one. Take it easy. See ya.